Hello and welcome to Yonkers Roundup, the public access program that films in the Riverfront Library. I'm your host, Bryan Harrod, and again I'm sitting down with Terrence Miller, who's running for the 1st District City Council seat. And today I want to talk to him about education in the city of Yonkers and in the district that he's seeking to represent in general. Good morning, Terrence.
Good morning.
Education, they've had some good reports in Yonkers of graduation rates. There's been some good reports the MBK program, but there's also been, especially some of the schools in the district you're seeking to represent that have had some not so good news as far as results for children. And as some people would characterize, some children are suffering because they're not getting the services they're entitled to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would agree with that assessment, but
Yeah, so there's a large budget gap right now, a $17 million budget gap, and the city is constantly in this cycle of there being a gap and cutting funds from the school, which is unfair because a large portion of the kids in my district are feeling the effects of it, and it's not fair because I went to PS 22 Yonkers Middle School, and I graduated from Gordon High School, and when I was there, the city was really invested in making sure that our schools were properly funded. I was able to play modified, junior varsity sports. And, that helped me become a well-rounded student and allowed me to go off to college and get my bachelor's in political science from St. John's University. So, I want to make sure that our students right now are getting all the funds that they need to prosper. It's not fair that there has to be cuts. It's a shame.
it is. I might get the number wrong, but I believe the new number, it's down from 102 people that are going to be let go, but I think it's 82 now if the 17 million goes through.
I'm not exactly sure of that number, but
people are definitely going to go.
People are unfortunately
and services are going to be cut.
Yeah, and it's the large portion of our schools are black and brown students, and it's not fair that those students, African Americans and Latinos, are getting the short end of the stick when it comes to education. We should really be making sure that they have everything that they need because they're the future of our city. We need to make sure that we educate them so that they can go on and go to college just like every other student is able to do, and then come back and then build upon our city like so many generations before us. So we have an obligation to make sure that our students are well funded.
I did say that I understand that there are some schools that are performing lower than the state averages that are under the New York State Education Department monitoring. But I believe and I don't know exactly where they are. I've heard that there's 2 schools in the 1st District that are going to be built. I don't know exactly when. There's a limited information about it, but I know there's, is it Lambert? And
Lamartine and Ravine Avenue.
Yes.
But, the thing about that is that the city has not come to the community and say, this is our plan. Nobody knows their plan. So how are they going to start building something without coming to the community, people who know the layout of the land, whose children will eventually go to those schools? How do they not come to us and say, hey, this is what we're going to do before they do it? And that's.
I mean, you would say more community input.
Yes, absolutely.
From the stakeholders in the community.
Absolutely, yes.
And that, we'd like to see this in a school. Maybe the theme of the school, maybe it's a school that'd be about technology or robotics, or it'd be about this or that.
Yeah, because we have to make sure that we're teaching our students for the jobs that are here now. And STEM is definitely here, it's here to stay, and we need to make sure that our students are being properly educated on STEM programs.
So if you were fortunate enough to become the council member for the 1st District, would you hold like I know community forums or I know they go sometimes to have like neighborhood meetings. Maybe there'd be an education meeting in the 1st District.
Absolutely, that's something that I would definitely be willing to do because it's important that we're informing the community on what's going on.
I see. Well, besides that, I can't think of anything on the education front. I guess you're right. I have it. There should have been more notification of what these schools are going to encompass, what their outlook or focus is going to be, because I honestly, I'm interviewing you, but I'm a little ignorant on the subject.
Well, if the city was able to tell us their plan, then we'd be able to have a longer conversation about this.
So anyway, this is the part of the show we just like to give you an opportunity to speak directly to our audience. If there's something I should have said on education, or if there's some other issue you'd like to bring up, or just like to tell people your website where they can read more about you, please, the camera's yours, sir.
Well, hello everyone. How are you? Terrence Miller, running for City Council in the First District. If you want more information on my campaign, please reach out to www.terrence, Terence, for Yonkers.com. And you can email us at terrenceforyonkers@gmail.com as well. And on social media platforms like Facebook, it's Terrence Miller for Yonkers, and Instagram is Terrence for Yonkers as well.
Terrence, I thank you for being on the show. Next time I'll try to be a little more up on education if I interview you.
Okay.
And I thank you for watching Yonkers Roundup, the public access program that films here in the city of Yonkers.